Welcome back to session number 2, Hilton Coliseum, Ames, Iowa. This session we're going to have the Arizona State Sun Devils, UNI Panthers squaring off in a dual meet. Start fast, 125, Brandon Courtney from Arizona State. He's ranked number 3 as he spins around on Teskey and gets a 2-point takedown. Number 9, Brody Teskey. He's a redshirt sophomore. Courtney, redshirt junior. Teskey works up to his feet. Courtney with a good mat return. Puts Teskey back down. Another mat return with Courtney. Starting to drive a half. Officials today: Carlos Manuel, Kent Sesker, Stephen Wirtz. Teskey out for a 1-point escape. Make it 2-1. These guys have a little bit of history. Last year, Teskey, in the fall, I think first duel of the year actually, Arizona State wrestled Penn State. Teskey was at Penn State. Lost in the dual meet. But he's also beaten Courtney in freestyle. Courtney's actually a very good freestyle wrestler. Teskey, real active hands. Right now you've got Courtney up 2-1. Starting at 125 for the dual meet. Teskey shoots Courtney off. They're calling that action, so there'll be no stall warning there. Teskey's been down in a few matches this year and has come out on top on all of them. He's undefeated. Sometimes a little bit of a slow start. Maybe working into the match. But he will go hard the whole 7 minutes. We will give you some updates on mat 2. We do have some UNI guys wrestling some extra matches. But the main focus, a little duck under action. Now a little duck under from Courtney, real slick. It was slick both ways, but Courtney actually gets the 2-point takedown. So with 30 seconds left in the first period, Courtney pushes that lead up 4-1. Teskey gets up to his feet, cuts back through, but as long as Courtney's got his hands locked, he won't get a point. Now he broke the lock, so now it's 4-2. Even though Teskey's down 4-2, I think he likes the pace of this match. And that's how period 1 is going to end here at 125 pounds, first match of the duel. Courtney, Arizona State, 4. Teskey, 2. Courtney does have 1:07 of riding time right now. Teskey's going to choose down to start the second period. Kyle Gallhofer from UNI is wrestling on mat 2 right now against Iowa State. We'll give an update on that as we can. Right now it's 0-0. Teskey was out for his 1-point escape. Makes it 4-3. Look like he might have got an inadvertent eye, poke to the eye. Shakes that off. We're back to action. Teskey, good hard snap. Courtney ranked number 3 in the coaches poll. Brody Teskey, Fort Dodge, Iowa. He is ranked number 9 in the coaches poll. Courtney was a 3-time champ out of Arizona. 2015 national champ. Freestyle at Fargo. Nice little throw by Courtney. But Teskey does a good job of running out of that. Teskey, good hard cuff there, goes to his knees. Teskey hanging hard on Courtney's head and neck. Now he's got him in front headlock. They're on the side of the mat. Courtney, nice job, shoots a fireman as they go off the mat. But Teske pushing that pace. 4-3, Courtney. 38 seconds left in second period. Good snap by Teske. Teske trying to dig in that right underhook, and he's got a collar tie. Courtney doing a good job of staying square with Teske. End of the second period. Courtney up 4-3. He does have a minute and 12 riding time, Courtney does. And he picks neutral position. He's going to go on his feet to start the third. Teske had that double tie, collar tie just for a second. Drops down to a knee. Courtney wants to run behind him there, a little shuck run behind him. Teske does a nice job of staying square. Teske drops to the knee again. Now straight on double. Courtney does a good job of fighting that off. He's got his overhook. Teske pressuring in on him. Teske just runs Courtney out of bounds. And we're going to call that action. And we'll continue to stay on our feet. 1:17 left in the match. Should say in the third period. Courtney getting his fakes going now. Teske, another good snap. Runs through Courtney, tries to ankle pick him, driving him off the mat. Now he's in the front head trying to cut the corner. And they go off the mat. Teske continuing to build here. Courtney a little more defensive, but he's got a 1-point lead and a riding time at this point. Teske, if he gets a takedown here, could be a 3-point takedown. You could get a 2-point takedown, erase that 12 seconds or 13. If you get 13 seconds of riding time, erases that riding time point. So in reality, be a 3-point takedown. Teske digging in, underhook. Now he pulls back to a front head. Courtney's trying to go under him. Courtney hard on Teske's elbow. Teske trying to run the corner. Now we're under 20 seconds. Teske pushes Courtney out of bounds. There's a stall call with 16 seconds left. Ten seconds. Teske trying to close the gap. Teske underhook, drops down to a single. Courtney gets a takedown right at the end. 1-point riding time. Make that a 6-1 decision for Courtney.
At 133 pounds,
Kyle Gallhofer on mat 2, commanding lead over Iowa State, 7-1 in the second period. Back to the dual meet. University of Northern Iowa, Kyle Biscaglia, the redshirt sophomore from Waukee. His opponent, Nicholas Ramo, redshirt freshman for Arizona State. Ramo right now has a front headlock on Biscaglia. Neither competitor could make any advantage there or improve, so we get a stalemate. Bisco right down to a knee, stalking forward. Scaglia now working up, trying to work up Ramo's leg, and then shoots the off leg. Trying to finish in between, trying to run that down now. Ramo does a good job of passing him by. But now Biscaglia lifts Ramo, puts him on a far hip, and gets a 2-point takedown. So at 133 pounds, Biscaglia up 2-0 over Ramo. Ramo wins a couple titles out in New Jersey, great wrestling in the state of New Jersey. 2-time champ. Biscaglia, 3-time champ in the state of Iowa. Biscaglia right now working a little ball and chain action. He's had Ramo's wrist in between his legs and trapped. Ramo clears that. Biscaglia goes right to that far elbow. Biscaglia also has an ankle trapped. So Ramo catches a stall warning on the bottom. Tries a little elevator roll, a little switch action. But Biscaglia, real tight waist, driving Ramo forward. Ramo gets up to his base. And Biscaglia right to that crossface. Ramo up to his feet. The lock was broke, but Bisco does a good job of dragging Ramo back down to the mat. And that's how the first period's going to end. Kyle Biscaglia up 2-0, 1 minute, 41 seconds of riding time. Arizona State leads the duel 3-0. Brandon Courtney defeated Brody Teskey for Teskey's first loss of the year. As Ramo's choice, he looks over Zeke Jones. He says, yeah, I'm going feet. No doubt about it.
Our matchup on mat number 2 at 133, Ramazan Al-Sayar, ISU, Jack Wagner, UNI.
Biscaglia underneath his Arizona State opponent, trying to build up into his body, but his head's trapped under. Clears his head, now drops back underneath. Trying to cut the corner. But Ramo does a good job of reaching back and grabbing his far ankle. Biscaglia traps the ankle, gets a 2-point takedown. You're potentially dangerous and get a restart. Mat 2, we have Jack Wagner from UNI and Ramazan from Iowa State. Oh, it's getting a little wacky over there. A little extracurricular activity going on. But it's 2-0 Wagner in the first period. Back to the dual meet. Ramo jumps there, so he catches a caution. And he glared at the official like blow the whistle official. What it looked like to me. Not that I'm a mind reader, that's just what it looked like. Ramo out for his 1-point escape, has not got it yet. Gets it now. So he cuts into Biscaglia's lead, 4-1. Biscaglia got a ton of riding time right now, minute 58. We are at 133 pounds at Hilton Coliseum in Ames. Biscaglia back down to a knee and stalking forward. Biscaglia hits a low outside single. Ramo defends it, gets in his front head. Shucks Biscaglia by for a 2-point takedown, and then right away, Biscaglia is back up to his feet for his 1-point escape. That's how period number 2 is going to end. Biscaglia up 5-3 over Ramo. Still got a ton of riding time, minute 54. And Biscaglia's choice in the third, and he's going to go down. Wagner up 2-1 over Ramazan on mat 2 late in the first period. Back to the duel. Biscaglia trying to square up and get his 1-point escape. That pushes Biscaglia's lead to 6-3. Has a minute 38 of riding time. Ramo tried a nice little knee tap there, didn't quite get it. And we get a potentially dangerous. Biscaglia's got a 3-point lead plus riding time right now. Biscaglia 2-on-1. Trying to work up into Ramo. Now Bisco back down to a knee, switches the other knee, works back up, collar tie.
1 minute.
Less than a minute left in the third period. Ramo throws a headlock, slips off. Biscaglia gets a 2-point takedown. Now his lead is 5. Riding time is locked as of right now. So in reality, he's up by 6. A quick tilt could give Biscaglia a major. Ramo's starting to work a switch here. Bisco driving that shoulder, and he's still going to be able to continue to accrue the riding time. But if he rolls him back through here, he might get a near fall. He does not. Puts Ramo back to his near hip. 15 seconds left. Still has a few ticks left to maybe go get a quick little exposure. And if you do, it's going to be a team point. It was not for lack of trying. Kyle Biscaglia working right till the end of the whistle. Gets a 9-3 decision. And it's a regular decision. So that will tie the duel at 3-3 with Arizona State.
Matchup at 141 for Northern Iowa, Drew Bennett. Arizona State, Peter Lepari.
Mat 2, Jack Wagner's beating Romanov 5-3. Just a few ticks left in the second period. The dual meet for Northern Iowa, Ethan Basil. He is a true freshman from Tampa, Florida. He's wrestled Peter Lepari. He's a grad student, so education-wise and years-wise can't get any farther apart than a true freshman and a grad student. Lepari from New Jersey with stops at Rutgers and Rider, 2019 qualifier. He was in on a shot, but Basil continues to wrestle. Basil, real good scrambler, gets a 2-point takedown, and then drags Lepari back down to the mat. Digging a bar arm tilt, and it looked like if the referee's in position, that might have been a 2 count. I think he looks over to backup official Kent Sesker and said it was a 1 count, but put Lepari in danger there. Lepari ranked number 26 in the coaches poll. He was a 3-time place winner out in Fargo. Basil trying to pull him back, get an exposure, get a count. Lepari gets a 2-point reversal. And right to a tight waist and traps his near arm. Basil, Tampa, Florida, two-time Florida champ. Wrestled in high school at Jesuit in Tampa. Lipari now working a hammerlock on top of Basil here. Trying to drive his arm. Originally was trying to drive his arm to the mat. Basil recovers it. Trying to clear that wrist right. He does. But Lipari's got his right leg in. It's 2-2. Now Lipari's in the positive for riding time. 45 seconds left in the first period. 2-2. In a scramble position. Basil keeps trying to hip in, trying to finish on top here. But Lipari's still got his toe. Loses his toe, but he's got his near leg. And Lipari's still on top, still getting riding time, getting close to a minute. Basil does a great job of trying to get out, but does not get out. And Lipari actually does a great job of scrambling and continuing to accrue the riding time, which is up to 53 seconds. So a big 15 seconds here left in the first for both guys. A ride out for Lipari and a escape would be huge for Basil. Basil up to a tripod, 4 seconds. Can he break that lock and get out for one? He does not. He does not. Coach Schwab not happy about that. Lipari didn't try to return Basil. So now we're starting period 2. Lipari is up over a minute of riding time, but Basil's starting on top. So he's going to cut in that. Lipari tries a switch. Basil does a nice counter of that, keeps a high shoulder. Another switch by Lipari. Basil defends it. Good action both ways, but Basil wins that position. He's got the riding time right around 30 seconds now. He's still got a toe in and he's got a bar arm, but they're going to go out of bounds. So 141, Basil, UNI 2, Lipari, Arizona State 2. 32 seconds of riding time for Lipari. Minute 24 left in the second. Basil starting on top. Lipari trying to get to his feet. Basil's looking for a quick little tilt there. Hips are falling off to the side. Trying to work his right leg in. He's putting a ton of pressure on Lipari, but I think he's getting too high where he's gonna come out of that. Lipari's trying to shake him off.
1 minute remaining.
Lipari coming out the back door for a 2-point reversal to put him on top now 4-2. Riding time was down to 0. Lipari looking for an exposure, does not get it. 40 seconds left in the second. Now we're down to 20 seconds left in the second. Neither guy's moved much in the last 15, 20 seconds. Now Basil gets up to his base, 10 seconds left. Once again, it'd be another huge point or right out for either guy. 6 seconds left in the second. The restart's gonna have Basil going down. He's down 4-2 in the match. And now Lipari's built his riding time back up now to 47 seconds. Second period ends. Lepari will now get his, or excuse me, Basil gets his choice. He's going to pick neutral. Down 4-2, and 52 seconds of riding time against him. Shot by Lepari. Now he's trying to cut the corner on Basil. Referee gave 2, then waved it off. Now Basil's got 2 as he continues to wrestle. That's going to tie the match at 4. Gets a little bit of riding time off. Lepari gets the escape to go back in the lead, 5-4. Basil, pretty good attack there. Head on the inside, trying to cut the corner. Lepari dropping off to a near cradle. Gets a 2-point takedown. Pushes the lead now to 7-4. See it.
1 minute remaining, 1 minute.
Challenge brick comes in from Coach Schwab. And he's going to challenge that takedown. Coach Schwab and the officials having a little quick meeting, maybe clarification. And the coach has to spell out to the officials, I mean, this is what I'm challenging. Can't be just a general challenge. Just go over and watch the tape and pull something out of the hat. He's challenging that 2-point takedown.
One more good minute.
Was similar earlier in the match when they gave Lepari a 2-point takedown, then waved it off. But the officials are going to watch this replay, come to a conclusion if Lepari's got a 3-point lead or a 1-point lead. He does have a 1:03 of riding time. Obviously, that would be changed if they take the takedown away. Dual meet tied at 6. We're at 141 pounds right now. Arizona State won at 125. Brody Teske getting his first loss of the year. UNI bounced back. Kyle Biscaglia wins at 133 to tie the duel at 6, or excuse me, at 3-3. And now we are on a video review with Basil and Lepari. Officials are taking their time. They would have had to replay this 3 or 4 different times by now. I can see Sesseker's pointing, talking to the other official. They're trying to get the right call.
Come on, get it, figure it out. Figure it out. Colin, figure it out. Come on, figure it out. Stall on the body.
Okay, they have a decision. They're talking to the head table. So we do not have a takedown. Good challenge by Coach Schwab. Now makes the match 5-4. Peter Lepari ahead by 1. The riding time goes back under a minute to 47 seconds. 1:14 left in the 3rd period. All right, here we go. Basil right down to a knee, reaches out for a leg.
One minute.
Both guys throwing a couple fakes in there. but impetus on Basil to get a score here. Lipari takes a shot, good reshot. Great reshot by Basil. Gets the 2. There's 40 seconds left in the match. Lipari gets up to his feet, hits a standing switch, gets away for 1, but now we got a tie match at 6-6. 30 seconds left in the match. Riding time not a factor. Lipari takes a shot. Basil does a good job of defending that. Starts to drive Lipari off the mat and does. 15 seconds left, 6-6 tie with the grad student from Arizona State and the true freshman from UNI. Shot by Basil. Lipari brings him up in a little bit of a front headlock. He's got an underhook on the right-hand side. Basil works out of that. Just a few ticks left here in the third period. And we are going to go to overtime. Sudden victory. Takedown's going to win this match. Either way, Northern Iowa or Arizona State. Basil trying to run around Lipari. Reaches out for an ankle. Lipari gets back up to his feet. Basil in on another shot, just gets lowered. Lipari is sagged off the side but hooked through the crotch. Basil elevates, kicks over. Lipari tries to step over now. Basil wants to pass that leg. Basil drives Lipari to a hip, trying to push him all the way through. It's not 2 yet. Only 1 second left, and that's going to be the end of the first overtime. With a ton of action, but no points. Still 6-6, and we're going to go to the up-down position. Looks like Basil from UNI is going to get his choice first. Going to go down right away. We are at 141 pounds in overtime with Basil and Lipari. UNI thought Lipari jumped. Probably can hear that in the background. But Basil, meanwhile, builds up to his tripod, does a knee slide, gets to his feet, tries to hit a little bit of a switch action. There's only 10 seconds left in this short period. He's got a stall warning on Lipari. So Basil back down, 6 seconds left in this overtime. He gets set. Lipari's going to cover. So Lipari, it's a caution. It's a point. Coach Schwab says put that second on. He started the clock. He's correct there. Should be 6 seconds left. Coach Zeke Jones was getting some clarification. Coach Schwab wants that extra second put on. There it is, 6 seconds. Lipari will get his chance to go down, but this period is not over yet. If Basil can somehow get away here, that would give him a 2-point lead. Map B, we've got Ben Monroe and Gable Fox squaring off. Gable Fox up 2-0 over Monroe from Iowa State. Back to the dual meet, Basil is getting set, and Lipari's jumped about 5 times already. He stays put there. Basil tries to hit a little bit of a roll, but he will not get away. And Lipari will now take the down position, down a point. Lipari right to his feet. Basil in behind, trying to trip him down. Lipari hitting that switch again. But Basil doing a good job with that shoulder into Lipari. Basil just keeps crunching him to his hip. He is below the waist, so he might get a stall call here, but I think that's probably worth the stall call. Now he's back up over the waist. 5 seconds if he's hitting another switch. Basil shuts Lipari down for the overtime win, 7-6. Well, that win by Basil, gutty performance. 7-6 overtime win. That will push the Panthers in the lead 6-3 over Arizona State Sun Devils. Coaching staff for Arizona State, head coach Zeke Jones. Did Pac-12 Coach of the Year the last couple years, 17 and 18. Everyone remembers he's United States Freestyle Wrestling Team head coach. When he competed, he's a 91 world champ, 6-time national champ in freestyle, 95 world bronze, and a silver medal in the Olympics. He's assisted by Lee Pritz. I think he's in his 9th season. He's coached at Old Dominion, Missouri, 3-time qualifier in college, and an All-American. Frank Molinaro, he was an Olympic team member, NCAA champ for Penn State. And Mark Perry, he was a 4-time All-American, 2-time champ at the University of Iowa. He's coached at Illinois, Cal Poly. Coaching staff for UNI, head coach Doug Schwab. He was Big 12 Coach of the Year last year. Had his first national champ in 2019 with Drew Foster. First All-American back in 13 with David Bonin. Wrestled high school at Osage. He's a Green Devil, state champ. 3-time All-American and national champ at Iowa. 1999. He's coached at Virginia Tech and University of Iowa. He's assisted by Lee Roper. Roper from Georgia. Very technically sound coach. 4-year start at Appalachian State. Qualified in 2003. He was a 2-time Georgia State champ back when he competed. Ran compound wrestling for years where Joey Laser, Taylor Lujan wrestled club. Randy Pugh, 20 this season. He's the old man of the staff. All-American for UNI at 174 pounds in the year 2000. And then Brett Robbins in his 7th season, U.S. Open All-American. Just had a little baby boy named Jack. That's our coaching staffs. 149 pounds, UNI, Tristan Lara, redshirt junior, Fort Dodge, Iowa native. He is wrestling Corey Crooks. Coach's poll, he is number 32. He's a redshirt senior. Just 40 seconds left here in this 149-pound match. The Panthers do lead the duel 6-3. Getting wins at 133, 141. Crooks originally from Arizona. I believe he was a 2-time finalist, champ, state of Arizona. Been in the lineup quite a bit. But the first period will end 0-0 with Lara and Crooks. Now, Tristan Lara was a 3-time finalist for Fort Dodge. coached by Bobby Thompson. He was a two-time champ. Younger but bigger brother, Cade, is also on the wrestling team here at UNI. Looks like Larry's got some blood time. Troy Garrett, the trainer, trying to stop that blood. Meanwhile, Mat 2, Gable Fox, is just won a 3-0 match, I believe, over Ben Monroe from Iowa State. And we're going to have the Lara boys going at the same time with Cade on mat 2. Wrestling Carter Schmidt from ISU. And Tristan wrestling the dual meet. So we're moving into period number 2 with no score, 149 pounds. Lara takes down. Crooks covers. Lara trying to get up to that tripod.
Matchup on mat number 2, Iowa State.
Crooks doing a good job of bumping Lara forward. And essentially Lara just hits almost a headstand, forward roll, gets away for his one, but Crooks drops it on a low single. Crooks trying to work up his leg. Lara rolls Crooks through to get out of that jam, but Crooks still in on a leg. Lara doing a good job, real good job with his whizzer. Looked like he might have had some danger, at least a danger count. Did not get one. And it looks like Lara's nose plug comes out. So we're gonna have to stop the action there and get him all cleaned up. With Cade Lara on mat 2 and Carter Schmidt 0-0, a minute into the first period. His older brother Tristan is getting cleaned up here with his blood time. So we're back underway. Minute 15 left in the second period. Lara with a 1-0 lead over Crooks. Crooks trying to take some ground here. Good snap by Crooks. Lara fakes a high single shot. A lot of hand fighting going on here with Lara. Now Lara drops the knee and reaches out. Crooks does a nice job defensively. Both guys working for inside control. Ten seconds left here in the second period. Lara up by 1 over Crooks. Crooks in on a single. He's trying to cut the corner. Real short time. He gets the leg shelved, but he's going to run out of time with Lara having the shin whizzer and fending that off. So Lara's going to keep that lead of 1-0 going into the third. But now it's Crooks' time to go down. Crooks push back into a stand-up, and he's out for his 1-point escape, so we're knotted at ones in the third period. with an overhook. Now Crooks back in on near arm far leg action. Traps the ankle, pulling down on Lara's right elbow. Lara dumps Crooks to his far hip, but Crooks does a nice job of building back up. Crooks drives Lara across to his far hip, gets a 2-point takedown. So that score will put Crooks up 3-1. 20 seconds of riding time and building, under a minute left in the third period. Lara up to his feet. Crooks gonna push him out of bounds. 51 seconds left. Tristan Lara from UNI is down 3-1 to Corey Crooks. Lara up to his tripod, pushing all the way, trying to push all the way back up to his feet. He does. Now he's trying to break the lock. He's out for his escape. Make it 3-2. Crooks. 36 seconds left, third period. Lara with a little throw by. .20 seconds left. Lara drops to a knee and penetrates. Now there's 15 seconds left. Lara down 1. Crooks circles back in. And that will be the match, with Corey Crooks from Arizona State defeating Tristan Lara from University of Northern Iowa. 3-2. That will knot up the dual meet at 6-6. Both teams have won 2 matches apiece, regular decisions.
Matchup 157 in Northern Iowa, very close block.
So the next matchup in the duel, 157 pounds. University of Northern Iowa will have Derek Holschlag. He's a redshirt junior out of LaPorte City, Iowa. Arizona State will go with Ja'Cory Teamer. He's a redshirt sophomore, Long Beach, New York. Teamer very explosive. Holschlag a little more methodical. Wants to be in the top position if he can get there. Holschlag did a nice job staying low to the ground, trying to defend any shot by Teamer. Not a ton of action. A little snap by Holschlag. Mat 2, Cade Lara has Carter Schmidt from ISU on his back. He's been there for about a minute. Has not secured the fall yet. And Schmidt rolls through. So Cade Lara has a 6-1 lead with riding time. Back to the dual meet. Holschlag in on a little outside single. Cuts the corner. Teamer, I think, got hurt right there. Heard him yell out when he came around to get that single leg. Good shot by Holschlag. Teamer tried to defend it. Looked like, at the minimum, it got tweaked a little bit. But he shouted right away when it got bent up a little bit. So, see if Teamer can continue here. Holzschlag did get the takedown, up 2-0. And if Teamer continues, Holzschlag will have choice of position coming out of this injury timeout. Teamer's up on his feet, a little ginger. Now Teamer's trying to walk it off. I think he's going to be okay. Just a little strain, little sprain. So Holzschlag, coming off the injury timeout, will take the down position. Teamer trying to shake it off. Holzschlag up to his tripod. Trying to break Teamer's grip, and he does. He gets his 1-point escape. So Holzschlag goes up 3-0. Teamer in a nice low shot, trying to cut the corner on Holzschlag. Holzschlag does have he had a little bit of a whizzer there, but Teamer continues to wrestle. Spins around behind, gets a 2-point takedown as they go out of bounds. So Teamer closes the gap, 3-2. Holzschlag back up to his tripod. Breaks the lock, gets his escape, pushes his lead over Teamer to 4-2. Cade Lara will get a major decision on mat 2. Cade Lara from UNI wins 11-3 over Carter Schmidt from ISU. One of the extra matches. Back to duel. Holzschlag from UNI has got a 4-2 lead over Teamer from Arizona State. Holzschlag back in on an attack. Teamer, good job, good defensively. Hips down and away. Under 10 seconds left in this first period. And that is the end of the first period with Derek Holzschlag up 4-2 over Ja'Cory Teamer at 157 pounds. Dual meet is 6-6. Teamer set, Holzschlag covers. Teamer rolls, it's a hard roll. Got a Holzschlag on his back for a 2-point reversal and a 4-point near fall. Big explosive move is going to push him into a 8-4 lead. Teamer with a tight waist, ankle trap. Holzschlag up for his escape. Closes the gap now, 8-5. Minute left in the second period. Holzschlag in on the leg. Teamer trying to drop those hips on him. Holzschlag, if he runs this down, is going to get a 2-point takedown, and he does. And now he's back on top. Starting to whittle away a little bit of Teamer's riding time. Teamer right to his belly here, where Holzschlag is going to try to go to work. But it's an 8-7 match now. Holzschlag now has erased all of Teamer's, all but 2 seconds of his riding time. .29 seconds left, second period. Teamer quickly to his feet. Holzschlag going to lift and return, lift. Teamer gets out for his 1-point escape. and drives into Holzschlag, drops him just with a high single, then just drops him to his hip for a 2-point takedown. Huge 3-point swing right there in just a few seconds. So now Teamer up 11-7. Twelve seconds left in the second. Teamer drops down to an ankle, works back up off the ankle, now he drops back down to an ankle ride. Second period ends with Teamer from Arizona State with 11-7 lead over Derek Holzschlag from UNI. Holzschlag does go in the down position. Second caution on Teamer. I believe that's his second one. If he does it again, like Lapari, it'll be a point for Holzschlag. Holzschlag up to his feet, trying to break the grip. Teamer runs him out of bounds. Holzschlag with a big, big, deep breath. Getting himself ready again. Teamer covers. Teamer keeps going with that ankle, but when it gets close to that stall, the count, he'll release it. But in the meantime, he just releases Holzschlag. So Holzschlag's now down by 3. It's 11-8, Teamer. Riding time not a factor. Teamer down on one knee. Both guys with a collar tie. But the onus now on Holzschlag, down by 3. Can't be reckless, but needs to increase that pace. Give him a chance to win this match.
1 minute remaining, 1 minute.
Just under a minute, third period. Holzschlag in and out on a shot. .45 seconds left. Holzschlag digging a left underhook, collar tie. Teamer circling back in. Holzschlag in on the leg. Teamer does a good job of just kind of freight training Holzschlag out of bounds, and they're not quite out of bounds. Teamer trying to keep his foot in and get a 2-point takedown. Holzschlag squares up, so there's no takedown, but valuable seconds clicked off the clock. 17 seconds left. Teamer with an 11-8 lead. Holzschlag closes the gap right to a collar tie, fakes a shot. Trying to run a quarter. There's no takedown there. 4 seconds left. Teamer does get a stall warning, but it's going to be a little bit too late for Holzschlag. Down by 3 with 4 seconds to go. So that win, Arizona State will go back in the lead, 9-6 in the dual meet. As we head into 165 pounds. Arizona State Sun Devils 9, University of Northern Iowa Panthers 6. So at 165 for Arizona State, Coach coaches poll, number 5, Anthony Valencia, redshirt senior from Bellflower, California. Northern Iowa, number 29, coaches poll, redshirt junior, Pat Schoenfelder, Antioch, Illinois. Valencia in on a shot. Schoenfelder, nice job of burying Valencia's head, building back up. Does a knee block and just drives Valencia right to his hip. Splits his legs for a nice 2-point takedown. Schoenfelder is a powerful man when he gets rolling, and he showed it off right there with that 2-point takedown. Now Valencia was a All-American last year, first team All-American. Obviously did not have the tournament in 2020, and they went off seeds, and an 8th seed got you first team All-American status. Also a Scala All-American, 3-time NCAA qualifier, 3-time California champ. Incredibly hard to win a state title in California. He won 3 of them. Doubled up in Fargo, Greco, and freestyle. So Valencia's got a ton of credentials. Schoenfelder working his high thigh right now, putting a ton of pressure on Valencia's lower back. And Valencia's trying to build up, but just can't do it. But he's getting his leg, just about had his leg squared away, and Schoenfelder repositioned it. So Schoenfelder's getting up towards a minute of riding time here with a 2-0 lead. Schoenfelder's trying to kick over and expose Valencia, and Valencia rolls through, but Schoenfelder's actually in pretty good shape here. He just keeps crunching toward him. He needs to block his elbow, try to drive him over. And now bottom guy gets a stall call there. So Valencia gets a stall call. Schoenfelder in great shape here, but really need to be greedy and try to get near fall here and put Valencia to his back for at least a 2 call, or a 2 count, I should say. Schoenfelder now with a minute 45 of riding time and a 2-0 lead. Valencia now wrestles out of it, gets back to his base. 15 seconds left in the first period. Schoenfelder so far has dominated this first period, but just a 2-0 lead, has over 2 minutes of riding time. And that's how the period's gonna end, with Schoenfelder with a 2-0 lead and 2:11 of riding time at 165 pounds. Schoenfelder wrestled in Illinois, was a 2-time finalist and a champ in the great state of Illinois. Academic All-Big 12 in 2019. Puts the student and student athlete. Valencia just a straight-on double, just trying to blow through Schoenfelder, and does, and gets a 2-point takedown. So with that takedown, the match is knotted up at 2. And I would think Valencia would at least try to get some of this riding time off. So Valencia gets called for a quick start there. He's telling the referee it was UNI. The referee's not having it. Now Schoenfelder trying to get to his feet, he does. And he gets out for his 1-point escape to push his lead to 3-2. Still has a minute 59 of riding time. Just a shade over 1 minute left. Valencia that same long double, but this time Schoenfelder catches it and jacks him up with his left underhook. Both guys have a left underhook. Schoenfelder thinking about that knee block again and run him over it, but Valencia worked out of that. 45 seconds left in the second. Schoenfelder up 3-2 over Valencia, tries a foot sweep, and Valencia just tosses Schoenfelder to his back and pins him. So Schoenfelder up 3-2, went upper body with Valencia. Valencia lat dropped him for a pin and 6 big team points.
Wrestling, Amendment 1, 174, Lance Runyon, Northern Iowa. Trenton Munoz, Arizona State. Hey, you gotta keep scoring.
Glanced over at mat 2. We've got Happel from UNI, Small from Iowa State, all tied up at 3-3, going to the second period. The dual meet is now 15-6. With Arizona State winning these last two and the last one with a pin for 16 points. 174 pounds, University of Northern Iowa. In the coaches poll, ranked number 20, Lance Runyon, redshirt freshman. Pleasant Hill, Iowa, Southeast Polk High School. Wrestling Trent Munoz, redshirt freshman, Mission Viejo, California. Munoz in on a shot and has Runyon to a hip as Runyon's trying to build up. Munoz now lifting him, trying to trap his ankle, and is going to try to work that top leg off of his head. And if he clears that top leg, he will have a 2-point takedown. So 2 points for Munoz. And Runyon out for his 1-point escape. Munoz, 2-time California finalist and a champ. Majored in mechanical engineering at Arizona State. In on another shot on Runyon, trying to cut the corner. Runyon's got a whizzer, shin whizzer in. Munoz is doing a nice job of elevating Runyon's leg. Now Runyon brings Munoz back down to the mat, steps back through as they're on the edge of the mat. And we're going to get a stalemate. Runyon last year as a true freshman, 5-0, and then had a season-ending injury. He's ranked number 20 in the coaches poll. 4-time place winner for Southeast Polk. Top 5 every year. Fargo All-American, state champ in Iowa. Played a little football at Southeast Polk, a little safety and a little running back. Munoz working up that 2-on-1. Runyon does a nice job of squaring back off. Under 30 seconds left. Runyon trying to toss Munoz to his back. Just doesn't quite have enough horsepower right there to get it. Now trying to run down the corner. Had a near cradle locked up just for a second, drops down to a low single. Needs to be above the knee there. And he's way down at the ankle where Munoz can still keep that whizzer in there. Some real good action right there at the end of the first period. But Munoz will keep his 2-1 lead going into the second and will choose the down position. Mat 2, Happel and Small, tied at 4-4, minute left in the match. Runyon starts out with a claw ride. Driving forward real hard, keeping a lot of weight on Munoz' hands. And Munoz pushing back into his tripod. Runyon's keeping him just enough off balance. Gets a claw from the other side. Munoz all the way up to his feet. Runyon still has that claw, then reaches all the way across, drops that far ankle, and drives Munoz back to the mat. Runyon dropping off on Munoz's head, maybe looking for a near cradle, but probably going to lose him here, and he will because Munoz works out his near arm. He doesn't have the escape yet because he hasn't cleared his head all the way out. So Runyon was still getting riding time, but now he does to push his lead to 3-1. Now Runyon drops in on a single right on the edge of the mat. Runyon's going to have to bring him back towards the center. Munoz kicks, and he's out on the basketball court. So we're off the mat, out of bounds.
Go, roll, up and roll.
30 seconds left in the second. Munoz over Runyon, 3-1. Riding time is in Runyon's favor right now at 51 seconds. So into the second period, score remains the same, 3-1. Cale Happel picks up a 7-6 victory over Todd Small from Iowa State on mat 2. Happel, a true freshman from Lisbon, Iowa, coached by Brad Smith. Now Runyon's turn to go down, does a little leg elevator, and it was really out for one, and then kind of kept himself in there. As long as he's covering that head, he's not going to get his 1-point escape. Needs to clear that front headlock to get his point. They call stalemate and give Runyon his 1-point escape. Draws him a little closer at 3-2. Gets his riding time down to 31 seconds. Minute 30 left in the match. Munoz kind of dives in on that shot, but keeps taking ground and works back up to his feet. Minute 10 left in the third period. Munoz, Arizona State, 1-point lead over Runyon. 1 minute left. Runyon drops down for an ankle. Now we're under 50 seconds. Runyon's got Munoz's head tucked under, but couldn't bring him down the mat. Now he drops it on a low single. Munoz does a good job of coming back around and getting Runyon's ankle. Runyon now locked through the crotch. Now they're back to about an even Steven. Actually, Runyon's in a little better shape here. If he can elevate, he has to reach back and break that lock. He had it broke just for a second, but Munoz is holding on. Munoz is holding on there, and referee calls a stalemate with 15 seconds left. So Munoz still clinging to that 3-2 lead. 10 seconds left in the match. Runyon's got to go. He's got to go now. He's got to sting him quick. Munoz doing a good job of staying back, staying defensive, getting his hips way back. And that's how that match is going to end. The Munoz from Arizona State, 3-2 win over Runyon from Northern Iowa.
3-2 decision at 174, Munoz of Arizona State.
So the duel now is 18-6. Arizona State over Northern Iowa.
Wrestling at 184, Northern Iowa, Parker Peckheisen. For Arizona State, Cade Belcher.
Moving up to 184 pounds, Arizona State. Coach's poll number 31, Cade Belcher. He's a redshirt senior from Clovis, California. For Northern Iowa, Parker Peckheisen. And Peckheisen starting fast there, couldn't get a takedown, but started fast, got him behind Belcher, just could not get him to the mat. Peckheisen, the redshirt freshman. Coach's polls ranked number 5 from Glendale, Wisconsin. Went to Nicollet High School. Peckheisen in on a shot. Belcher real long. Trying to get his hips right on top of Kaisen's head, and he does, and gets the stalemate. Belcher is a California State champ. He's wrestled anywhere from 184 to heavyweight in the Arizona State lineup the past few years. Last year, Peckheisen, in his true freshman year, 16-1. 15 bonus point victories. And Peckheisen does a nice job on that high single. Looked like he had him down for the 2-point takedown. And I'm not sure why he didn't have a takedown there, and they didn't call it a takedown. And then Belcher latches through the crotch, and then the result was a 2-point takedown, which it should have been. But if you don't make the call right when the call is there, if you give these Division I athletes a second or two to adjust, then it's not a takedown. Peckheisen did a great job, continued to wrestle there, secured the 2-point takedown. But of those Peckheisen 16-1 last year, as I was commenting before the takedown, 15 bonus point wins. Four-time place winner, 2-time champ out of the state of Wisconsin. So Peckheisen 2-0 lead, just a few seconds of riding time. 1:28 left in the first period at 184 pounds here. Belcher trying to build up into that tripod, but Kaisen's crunching his head down, trying to get him in a near cradle. Belcher goes down to his belly, and Kaisen grabs a one-on-one wrist ride. A minute left here in the first period. Just a 2-0 lead, but somewhat dominating performance by Kaisen, if you can say that with a 2-0 lead. Belcher gets warned for stalling. Peckheisen now is at 1 minute of riding time. Just has a near wrist ride and a tight waist. Belcher clears the wrist ride. Now Peckheisen reaches, goes off. Belcher gets all the way to his feet. Now Peckheisen going to try to mat return him. Hits a little switch action. And then ends up going flat to his belly. So Peckheisen just drives him back down to his belly, grabs a near wrist, trying to drive Belcher over that wrist. And that's how the first period's going to end, with Parker Peckheisen from UNI, 2-0 lead over Cade Belcher from Arizona State. Peckheisen also 1:39 of riding time. His choice in the second. He is going to go down. And it looked like Kakaisen jumped the gun a little bit there. Gets a warning. Well, it's either number 2 or the ref's taking that one. Looks like the ref's taking that one. And when you start getting a ton of false starts, then you have to start thinking the referee's cadence might be a little bit off. Kakaisen does a nice job of getting to his feet. Belche a good job of driving him back down. Kakaisen comes back up to his feet and gets away for his 1-point escape. Pushes his lead to 3-0. The dreaded interlocked fingers again. We will stop and get a restart. Nice step by Kakaisen, and a long double, but tries to drive up to it. Switches off to a single. Now switches back off to a double and drives Belche to his far hip and a 2-point takedown. And as they go out of bounds, Kakaisen moves his lead to 5-0. Minute 35 of riding time. We are at 184 pounds in the dual meet. Arizona State 18, UNI Panthers 6. Kakaisen got a trap ankle, working a little cross-face action. Just driving Belche forward with that trap ankle and hip pressure. Trying to get him flat on the mat. Work some pinning combinations. 45 seconds left in the second. Belche gets warned for stalling. That'd be stalling number 2. That's a point for Kakaisen. Kakaisen now up 6-0. Belche does a nice job of getting to his feet, but Kakaisen adjusts, just drops down to a single and drives him off the mat. So at this point, Kakaisen in control, up 6-0. 2 minutes, 19 seconds of riding time. Belche works back up to his tripod. Kakaisen has that had a pretty good little ride there, went off, slid down to a wrist ride, still has that trapped ankle. And just working that one-on-one near wrist ride, now back to the head, trying to crunch him back, bring that head back to him to end the second period. So now it's, Belche's.
Belche is neutral in the third period.
And Belche, I don't think was going to go back under Kakaisen. There's no sense in that. Already having given up 2 minutes, 51 seconds of riding time. So Kakaisen obviously wanting to get more points here, get a major decision, extra team point for UNI. Belche, the total opposite, wants to close the gap here, give himself a chance to win it. Both guys kind of shoot at the same time. Kakaisen just a little bit lower on that high single. Gets Belche to his hip and gets a 1 count for near fall. So no near fall, but pushes his lead up to 8-0. Over 3 minutes of riding time. That's locked. So in reality, it's a 9-0 lead right now. Kakaisen looks like he's working out front. Lets Belche go. Still has a major at 9-1, but Kakaisen, nice little misdirection shot. Finishes in a double, drives Belche to the mat. Kakaisen now up 10-1. Intentional release again by Kakaisen. Makes the match 10-2. Kaizen back in on a single. Trying to switch off to a double and finish, but he's just going to run out of real estate there. 32 seconds left in the match. Kaizen up 10-2 over Belshea. 3:33 of riding time. Belshea reaches out, tries to grab Kaizen's leg, and Parker Kaizen just methodically goes behind Belshea for the 2-point takedown and the 12-2 lead with 10 seconds left in the match. So with 3 minutes and 55 seconds of riding time, Kaizen gets an additional point for riding time, wins 13-2 for a major decision. That brings the dual meet now at Arizona State 18, University of Northern Iowa Panthers to 10.
Wrestling at 197 for Northern Iowa, Keegan Moore. For Arizona State, Cordell Norfleet. £197, Arizona State, Cordell Norfleet. He's a senior. He's ranked number 3 in the coaches poll. Wrestling against UNI's Keegan Moore, number 30 in the coaches poll. Keegan wrestled some 184 this year, but is probably now going to finish out at 197. Norfleet with a quick takedown and 2-point lead. Norfleet last year, second team All-American. He was a 9th seed at the NCAA tournament. Pac-12 outstanding wrestler last year. 2-time Illinois champ. Out of Chicago, Marian Catholic. Keegan Moore, redshirt senior, Jackson, Minnesota. Started his collegiate career at Oklahoma State. Transferred back to Northern Iowa, where both his older brothers competed, Cooper and Payton. He's an NCAA qualifier, 3-time champ in Minnesota. Fargo Triple Crown winner. A couple powerful individuals right here. A little hip toss action by Keegan Moore. Norfleet just squares back up. Moore got good head position on Norfleet right now. Norfleet with a 2-1 lead, just 18 seconds of riding time. Still in the first period here. Halfway through the first period, minute and a half left. Norfleet with a left underhook. Keegan Moore had a really good head position there. Holding off Norfleet. And the extra matches for this session are done, so we've just got 197 and a heavyweight. Heavyweight should be a doozy, a couple top 10 guys going at it. But we're going to concentrate on 197 right now. Norfleet just kind of playing a little patty cake on Keegan Moore's head. Keegan, nice little fake. Norfleet drops a knee to defend it. 50 seconds left here in the first period. Norfleet up 2-1. The duel has Arizona State ahead right now, 18-10. 2 weights to go. Under 30 seconds, first period. Both guys need to close that gap. There's about a 4-foot gap in between them. Although they're both very quick, powerful. That's asking a lot if you're going to take a leg attack there to get to a leg with that much space. Now we're under 10 seconds. Well, we had a little hijinks here. couple hard cuffs by each guy, no harm, no foul. They smile and wink at each other.
Norfleet chooses the down position to begin the second period.
So Norfleet going into the second period is up 2-1. He gets choice. He's going to go down. Norfleet up to his feet and out for his 1-point escape. Increases his lead to 3-1. Not a ton of action right now. Both guys either don't want to take the risk or not willing to take the risk at this point. Halfway through the match. Moore has a good little snap. It snaps Norfleet into his leg. Ends up getting out of that, but I think if Norfleet keeps driving up into that, might get a 2-point takedown. So 1 minute left in the second. 3-1 Norfleet over Moore. .30 seconds, second period. 197 pounds. Norfleet drops to a knee. Say there's not much action, there's zero action. 15 seconds left in the second period. Norfleet still on his right knee. So that's the end of the second period. Norfleet enjoys a 3-1 lead. 15 seconds of riding advantage. Keegan Moore from UNI is going to choose the down position to start this third period. Take a little blood time. Troy Garrett's going to clean Keegan Moore up. Both guys will get a little personal coaching here in the corner. So to start the third, Keegan Moore from UNI is down 3-1. Starting in the down position. Norfleet covers. Keegan right up to his feet and out very quickly. Make it 3-2. Keegan does a nice little fake there. But Norfleet, with just the reshot, drives Keegan Moore down to the mat for a 2-point takedown. Now Moore back up on his feet. Norfleet's pushing him out. They still have a foot in. Now we're out of bounds. And Norfleet will get a stalling warning for pushing Keegan Moore out. But Norfleet now 5-2 lead. 34 seconds of riding time. Minute 39 left in the third period. We are at 197 pounds. Moore does a good job of getting to his feet, but Norfleet drops down to a single. Moore does a good job of forcing that right leg just to the mat and getting his 1-point escape. So closing the gap now, 5-3. Riding time is not a factor yet. 47 seconds for Norfleet. Norfleet back down to that right knee. Be real careful. You got to be real careful chasing him in there. Both guys getting a little rambunctious here. Should be expected.
1 minute remains, 1 minute.
Moore clears Norfleet off his head, but Norfleet going to stay on that right knee, and if Moore comes in too fast, he's going to blast double him. But you got to close the gap, get your hands on him. Norfleet back to that knee. He did close the gap, did put his hands on him. Now Moore's got an underhook. Norfleet works out of that. Less than 30 seconds left in the third period. Norfleet up by 2. Moore would have to have a takedown and a ride out to force an overtime here. 15 seconds. Norfleet doing a good job of keeping Moore off balance, just popping his head, keeping him off balance where he can't get his feet set. And that is how the match will end. 5-3, Cordell Norfleet from Arizona State over Keegan Moore from Northern Iowa. We're going to move up to the big fellas, heavyweight. Number 6, Carter Isley from Northern Iowa. This is coach's poll. Number 6, redshirt senior from Albany, Iowa. Number 13, Colton Schultz, redshirt freshman from Parker, Colorado, went to Ponderosa High School. Schultz defeated Gannon Gremmel from Iowa State earlier today. Looking for his second, it'd be a second big win of the day because Isley and Gremmel are both ranked ahead of him in the coaches poll. Schultz, real dangerous upper body. As you can see, he's trying to dig that left underhook in. 130 kilo senior national champ, junior world silver medalist, 4-time Colorado state champion was Colton Schultz. Very talented, very relaxed style for a big man. He's got good feet and good upper body techniques. Carter Isley, honorable mention All-American last year. Was 4th in the Big 12s. 2-time Iowa champ, Fargo All-American. Coached in high school by Nick Pickerel, former UNI wrestler. Isley has some very good low-level attacks for heavyweight. Schultz, very dominant in the upper body. So we'll see how this plays out. A little bit of clash of styles, but both guys can ride a little bit. Both guys can get away. Might be like Schultz and Gremmel earlier, might go in overtime. Isley under Schultz and trying to drive up. Schultz is locked around Isley's chest with Isley's head on the mat, wanting to go behind, but he's definitely stopped Isley's forward progress. Now he does have a chest lock. Isley's trying to bring in that single. Schultz brings him Isley all the way to the mat and gets a 2-point takedown. Schultz right to a trap ankle. Isley clears that, gets to his feet. Schultz with a lift and return. Isley building back up. Did not see even a 1 count there, but looked like Isley might have been exposed for a second. Schultz now has a hammerlock on Isley with very short time in the first, and that's how the first period is going to end 2-0. Schultz over Isley, and Schultz will also have 36 seconds of riding time.
Schultz takes the bottom position to begin the second period.
Schultz will begin the second period in the down position. Isley covers. Schultz pushing back into his tripod. gets his left shoulder underneath Isley's and squares away for a 1-point takedown. Builds his lead up to 3-0. He does have 29 seconds of riding time. Isley needs to get those hands and those feet moving. Get Schultz a little off balance and attack him. He's got some low-level attacks, but you can't just dive under a guy like Schultz or any of these high-level heavyweights. You got to set him up a little bit, make him make a mistake. Get him a little bit off balance, fire off a shot.
1 minute remaining, 1 minute.
Less than a minute here in the second. Schultz still up 3-0. Both guys have collar ties. And the onus on Isley to raise his level here, down 3-0. Stalemate, 33 seconds left in the second period. Schultz, Arizona State 3, Isley, UNI 0. Isley hits a knee, but does not have any penetration. Under 10 seconds in the second period. Schultz trying to dig that left underhook. Isley's got good head position here. Schultz steps back and gives him a little cuff to the head. So we're going to start the third period where Schultz could have a 3-0 lead. And Isley will go down. Schultz looked like he was trying to open Isley up to put a leg in. And he does put his right leg in. Now Schultz working a power half with that leg in. Isley rolls, tries to roll through, slip the leg. Schultz catches him. Now Isley needs to build back up. Minute 15 in the third period. Schultz over a minute of riding time now. Isley back up to that base. Schultz trying to put that right leg in. Schultz in bad position there for just a split second, was down on his right hip. But Isley couldn't capitalize. Now Schultz switches off, trap ankle, and drives Isley to his far hip. Now he's in a high thigh. Isley clears that, but needs to build up off that belly up into his base. 35 seconds left in the third period. Arizona State up 21-10. This is the last match of the duel. Isley warned for stalling. So Schultz comes to Ames and knocks off two heavyweights ranked ahead of him. Good weekend for Colton Schultz. Isley gets his first defeat of the year. And Arizona State will win the dual meet 24-10. The Iowa State UNI dual meet will be on Big 12 Now and ESPN Plus. We will have the extra matches at the same time, starting at 3:30. And there's roughly half a dozen extra matches, 6 or 7 of those. And we will broadcast those
in about 15 to 20 minutes. Take a short break. Be back on at 3:30.